This semester, I took a look at the organizational communication practices in the athletic department, specifically like this office. And I called, in my project, I called it like the athletic marketing department. I didn't know what else to call it. So I described this internship, like what we do and our goals for the future. And then I took a look at like what Rockers as a whole values and how the department functions. And then at the end, I suggest a policy which I thought would be beneficial for the department to install, like based on the research I've done and the interviews I did earlier in the semester. So first thing, I looked at Rockhurst University as a whole, and I thought it was called what we call like a loosely coupled system. So there's public relations, and there's advancement, and there's marketing, and campus ministry, and like they're all connected under Rockhurst as a whole, but each department like functions pretty independently. And then further, I took a look at like the athletic department in general, and I found that it was also like slightly loosely connected, like not as much because like we still have to like talk to the administration more, but this office does like a lot of things independently as well. And then as like a whole for the social media platforms that the Rockhurst University has, I thought that they were like a little bit scattered around. Like we operate the main Rockhurst Talks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams, but like each team has like their own Instagrams and their own social medias, and they operate them however they want to. So like I found in my interviews that there was like several different logos, several different like styles of tweets and posts. And while we might suggest that they change something, we didn't really like enforce that they had to do it. So then Rockhurst as a whole, I found that they have a lot of core values that they really hold in high regard. And then mostly I focus on cura personalis and the magis. So cura personalis is like the care for the whole self. It really like aligns with the NCAA Division II statement, life in the balance. They really just complement each other, especially here in the athletic department. Rockhurst students, athletes that I interviewed said that their coaches really care for them, that they really, their coaches look out for them. They want them to get a good night's sleep. They want them to eat well, and they want them to do well in class, not just succeed in their academics or their sports. And then coaches also remind their student athletes that they are representatives of the university, so they should be mindful of what they're posting online and making sure that they're not embarrassing their team, their university, or themselves. But like coaches don't really monitor the student athletes' social media, so like anything could be posted in theory without there being like a consequence. And then also I looked at the magis. So if you like look around, the Rockhurst students are some of the best in the country. They want more from their college experience, not just to succeed in their athletics. So they get involved in their campus clubs, and they take on leadership roles, and they do really well in the classroom. And they want like the most that they can get from their time here. And it's like no one's really forcing them to do this. It's just like ingrained in Rockhurst students and faculty. So overall, Rockhurst athletes do tend to be great representatives of the university. They're not usually posting bad things on social media, and they really just stand out for their values. So because of like the loosely connected offices in the athletic department, our office up here is like pretty independent. So there's like one of the main activities, especially in the beginning of the semester last year, was like the environmental scanning. So we had to look at the other teams in the area in our conference and other schools, like what they're doing well, what they could improve on, and we could just like take what we liked from them and like adapt it, make it our own. And doing that scanning is important because social media can be such an effective tool if it's used to its full potential. So it's like really important that we get it right. People spend a significant amount of time on social media every day, so we want our message to spread quickly. We have to make sure that we positively influence our followers like well, so that they'll either like or share it. And then we have like about 30 social media pages in total. So there's like a ton of feedback that we can pull from, but sometimes that's like a little bit hard because they're just operated by different people. They have different styles, so the feedback doesn't all come in very organized. But like it's really helpful that we have these meetings every week and where we can share ideas and present any changes that we might suggest. And the other teams, like when we change something, like when we got score shots, they just will have to catch on. Like they can see what we're doing and they can catch on themselves. So I thought that to create immediate uniformity within our social media platforms, the different teams and us would have to come together so that we can share ideas like how we do at these meetings. So currently Rockhurst doesn't have any social media policies besides the ones that you made for the athletic department. What we do have is like computer usage policies, which aren't very well known to the students. It doesn't really affect anyone because most of them are common sense. They just say like be ethical, don't download illegal things. But those ones are common sense, but for the social media policies that we just got this semester last year aren't as common sense. Some people need, like including myself, need like more direction with like how to word things and like what pictures to use, which ones are good, which ones are bad, so that they don't look out of place and they generate like desired feedback. So the policy that I'm suggesting would not be one of like what to post, but how to enforce what is posted. So I thought that there should be an educational meeting in the beginning of the semester or the year with the internship program and then whoever's in charge of the athletic team accounts, and we can go over the policy that you created so everyone knows like what's allowed to be posted, what's not allowed to be posted, and then they can get what their account name should be, what their cover photo should be if we were ever going to change that, what the logo should be, the official logo that we wanted to be using. And then at the end of the meeting, everyone who was there should sign off that they were taught what the policy was, so that in the future, if they're not adhering to those policies, if they were like posting bad things, that you can like use their signature and be like, your access to posting is denied, or we would have to like step in and delete things for them. So mostly what the policy would take to get done would be time. We already have like score shots, so everyone knows that we can post on their behalf and we can see what they're posting. So that doesn't we already paid for that, so there's no more like money involved with this policy. The main thing is just the time. The meeting would obviously take time, I don't know, like 45 minutes to go over the policy and answer any questions, and then throughout the semester and the year we would have to like review the pages, and if anyone had any questions about what could be done or what they're doing, we would have to make sure that they're following up on the policies properly. And then in the end, I thought that it would make just like a more unified social media platform. Everyone would have to have the logos, would have to be following the colors that we have, and like it would, then the stories that we did share, if we shared anything else like outside stories like what like students are doing, articles, and that those would really emphasize our values and they wouldn't just get lost in a sea of like a bunch of different posts. So thanks for listening to me. Do you have any questions?
No, I thought that was great.